Well, please just not be a dead body or something. Hey, come here.
Roseville,
A patrol officer laughs before he says it. He's joking. 30 seconds later, he isn't. It's 12:23 in the afternoon in Roseville, Michigan, and what started as the most routine call an officer can catch, a fender bender at Hayes and Common Road, is about to become something else entirely. A blue Ford pickup truck had collided with a tractor trailer. The semi-driver stayed put. The pickup's driver did not.
Roseville, Michigan, 12:23 in the afternoon. A patrol officer responds to a reported collision at the intersection of Hayes and Common Road. A blue Ford pickup truck versus a tractor trailer. Routine call, the kind officers handle often. The semi-driver is still on scene. The pickup is sitting in the roadway, but its driver is nowhere to be found.
Officers arrived to find the truck sitting in the roadway, empty. Its driver already gone on foot down Hayes.
You want me to guard this guy?
Were you involved?
I know you go.
Oh, hold on. Did you get in an accident?
Yes.
Okay, I need you to pull that further forward so it's on the curb, so it's not blocking the road, okay?
Dispatch got a plate number.
The responding officer begins checking the pickup for any clues that might identify its owner. The officer runs the VIN and license plate. It comes back registered to Gabrielle Carla Seitz, 63-year-old white female. Valid registration, matching plates, not reported stolen. At this point, it looks like a standard hit and run.
It came back registered to Gabrielle Carla Seitz, a 63-year-old woman with no reported theft, no red flags, nothing unusual. Just a hit and run. The kind of case that gets a report number and gets closed.
What'd the person look like? Can you give me a description? Female? Male or female? I can't see, it's the reflection. Male or female? Female? Okay, is she a white or a black female? White female?
Where's Gabzilla?
The driver of that took off.
Well, I see an very old tag on the plate, so I can take a guess.
Yeah, well, whoever's driving it is a white female. Reddish hair, shoulder length, took off.
Yeah, Gabzilla.
Probably Gabrielle.
That says on me.
Yeah.
You don't want me to do
Officers on scene tried to build a description of the person who fled.
Yeah.
You don't want me to do the info for you?
It don't matter.
Hello.
Hi.
I was worried somebody hit my truck.
No, you're okay.
Did I do it?
Nope, you're good.
As much damage as on that thing, it hit the tire on the trailer.
Really?
And it like caused no damage to the tractor trailer.
Was that
Hit somebody else's car?
Yeah, truck.
They were turning and this car came flying up and hit the back end, hit the trailer of this truck. And then this person took off running. Yeah.
Oh, they took off?
Yeah.
I'll take you there.
All right.
Witnesses gave conflicting accounts. Some said the driver was a man. Others insisted it was a woman with reddish, shoulder-length hair. Nobody agreed. But the truck itself needed to be dealt with, and that meant an inventory search.
Inventory search of the abandoned vehicle. During that search, he accidentally activates a Halloween decoration.
Jesus.
That's when the second officer, working through the cab and bed of the truck, triggered something unexpected.
Well, please just not be a dead body or something. I was kidding. Hey, come here. I was just kidding.
What?
There's someone dead in back. I made the joke, and then I wasn't okay. There goes the
A
explanation.
motion-activated Halloween decoration went off inside the vehicle. It startled him enough to laugh it off. That's the moment the joke happened. He told his partner not to let it be a dead body. Everyone laughed.
You're gonna wanna you're gonna leave this for right now.
There's someone dead in back.
Okay. Yeah, I'm calling my dispatch right now.
I gotta shut this road down.
Yeah.
Should we shut the whole thing down? Probably. You know what?
Hey, please.
Just leave everything as it is right now. Even this.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Yeah, I'll leave it right there.
We'll just leave it. We'll have you come back and clean it up because we're gonna shut this all down.
Okay. You don't want to stay down here?
No, we'll call you back.
Okay.
Then someone actually looked in the truck bed. There was a body. A shoelace was pulled tight around the neck. What prosecutors would later describe as obvious, unmistakable signs of strangulation. In the space of a single search, a property crime became a homicide investigation, and the entire scene shifted.
Lying in the bed of the pickup is the body of Gabrielle Seitz, a shoelace pulled tight around her neck. Prosecutors would later describe what officers observed as obvious signs of strangulation. What began as a hit and run just became a homicide investigation. First responders immediately lock down the perimeter, string up the crime scene tape, and contact the homicide unit. Witness accounts.
Officers locked down the perimeter, called in the homicide unit, and started treating every piece of that truck as evidence.
Hi.
He knows the suspect. He's got the video.
Hello.
Hi.
I heard it from this guy on Facebook. I don't know where he got it, but
Holy, this just happened.
The victim was identified as Gabrielle Seitz. Investigators didn't yet have a name for a suspect. What they had was conflicting witness testimony and a body in the bed of a truck that had, minutes earlier, been treated as a routine hit and run. The break came from an unlikely source, social media.
like a gray Nike hoodie.
Yeah, we got all that.
Yeah, that was the.
Any chance you can email that? And it's on Facebook?
Yeah, it was just like you can hit a news feed and it was on there.
Okay, so you don't know whose video it is?
No.
Okay.
No.
A Facebook
A
live
witness approached officers holding up his phone, saying he'd seen a video on Facebook. He didn't know who posted it, only that it had appeared on his news feed showing the aftermath of the crash. That live video gave detectives their first real look at the person who had fled the scene, described as wearing a gray hoodie.
Her family shed some light on who Gabrielle was. They also revealed that in the weeks leading up to her murder, she had also expressed concerns about her safety.
She was the sweetest person alive that everyone loved, and she can be around. She make people laugh. How she was, she loved to dance, sing, everything.
It's been a challenge.
Following the suspect's escape route, officers found a discarded duffel bag. Inside was identification belonging to Stephen Lee Freeman, 19 years old. Freeman had no criminal record with local agencies, but records showed a documented history of substance abuse, including a recent stay at a treatment facility. Now investigators had a name. What they didn't have yet was a motive or an explanation for why a 19-year-old had been driving a dead woman's truck. Detectives began retracing Freeman's movements in the hours before the crash. That work led to surveillance footage from Gabrielle's apartment complex. The cameras showed Freeman appearing outside her apartment repeatedly, lingering for extended periods late into the night. Between 11:45 p.m. and midnight, he made 8 separate trips, carrying items from inside the apartment out to Gabrielle's truck. Around 1:41 a.m., the pickup pulled out of the complex with its headlights off. The footage placed Freeman at the scene, It didn't explain what happened inside. A search warrant for the apartment filled in that gap. Investigators documented signs of forced entry, evidence consistent with a struggle, indications that someone had attempted to clean the scene, and bedding materials matching what Gabrielle's body had been wrapped in. Gabrielle's family, meanwhile, was left to process the loss in public under the weight of online speculation.
Swirl online.
We couldn't be on Facebook. We couldn't watch the news at all because of everything that's going on.
Her son, Justin Omens, described her as universally loved, someone who made people laugh, who loved to dance and sing.
She's just telling everyone, like, I want to get out of here. It's too much. There's too much danger. You know, something can happen to me. You know, I just want to get out of here.
Unfortunately,
He also revealed that in the weeks before her death, Gabrielle had told people she felt unsafe near her home, that something could happen to her.
Murder, felony murder, first-degree home invasion, second-degree criminal sexual conduct, concealing the death of an individual, and receiving and concealing a stolen motor vehicle. He faces the possibility of life without parole. However, because Freeman was 19 at the time of the murder, the court could not go straight to sentencing. Instead, a Miller hearing is required. Essentially, this is the court asking whether this person is beyond saving. That hearing is currently scheduled for July 10th, 2026. At that time, a judge will decide whether Freeman spends the rest of his natural life behind bars without the possibility of parole.
Based on the physical evidence, investigators believe Freeman entered Gabrielle's apartment through a window while she was out. When she returned home, she found him already inside. What followed, according to the evidence, was a violent struggle. Investigators allege Freeman sexually assaulted her, strangled her with a shoelace, wrapped her body in bedding, and loaded her into her own truck before driving away. Hours later, that sequence ended abruptly when the truck ran a red light and struck a passing tractor-trailer, the same crash that brought officers to the scene in the first place. 2 days after the murder, officers located Freeman hiding inside a vehicle in Waterford Township. He was taken into custody without incident. While awaiting court proceedings, Freeman made a recorded phone call from jail to his former partner. In it, he told her he'd woken up with Gabrielle's hands around his neck, the closest thing to an account he ever gave. He never repeated that claim to detectives. By his own admission on the call, he hadn't yet spoken to a lawyer. The conversation also revealed confusion about his legal situation. Freeman believed bond had been set, while his partner, searching court records in real time, found he had just been charged with first-degree murder. The earlier bond, tied to lesser charges related to concealing Gabrielle's body, had already been revoked once the murder charges were filed. He also disclosed that he had attempted suicide within his first 20 minutes in custody, which was why he was being held in a mental health unit rather than general population. Freeman never gave detectives a formal statement. He didn't need to. Investigators had surveillance footage placing him at the apartment. They had forensic evidence from the search warrant. They had witness accounts and the physical condition of the body itself. Prosecutors built a case with little room for the defense to maneuver. In September 2025, a jury convicted Stephen Freeman of first-degree premeditated murder, felony murder, first-degree home invasion, second-degree criminal sexual conduct, concealing the death of an individual, and receiving and concealing a stolen motor vehicle. He faces the possibility of life without parole. Because Freeman was 19 at the time of the murder, sentencing isn't automatic. The court is required to hold a Miller hearing, a proceeding that asks, in essence, whether someone this young is capable of rehabilitation or whether the crime warrants life without any chance of release. That hearing is scheduled for July 10, 2026. Until then, the question of what happens to Stephen Freeman remains open. What isn't open to question is how the case was found in the first place. Not through a tip, not through a confession, but through a joke made half a minute before an officer looked in the bed of a truck and found exactly what he'd said not to find. What would you have concluded, standing at that truck before anyone knew what was inside?